Hey guys, my name is Warburton, and welcome to episode 1 of our Wizard 101 playthrough. So, I realized it's going to be a little choppy, and there's going to be music in some parts, there's not going to be music in other parts. I just want to kind of preface that now with, I'm trying to figure out how to correctly cut this, just because I don't know where to draw the line. Um, So I do want to apologize if this video is not the best quality. I'm hoping to learn as I progress through this, and then also I kind of just spliced this together really quickly, and I know it's going to be, little late going out. It's supposed to go up on Wednesdays, and it is going to end up popping up Thursday morning. And that's just because come Wednesday, today when I'm actually voicing this over, I thought that I had all of the stuff pre-recorded that I wanted to do. Turns out, no, I didn't. So I had to do some, a majority of the recording, and then editing, and then all that other stuff. So there's that. Also, I did realize as I was doing editing that, a lot of people probably haven't played through Wizard 101, and so dialogue is like a thing, right? And because I've played this game so much, I've skipped through so much dialogue. And I do want to, excuse me, I want to preface this with kind of an apology of, I skipped through a lot of it, especially in the early bits. So, I'll try to just kind of summarize what the characters are saying and things like that. I'll explain, because there's going to be massive cuts, because I try to cut out large portions of running and other things like that. I know I cut out, just random needless side quests that were like, oh yeah, hey, do this thing over here, run from A to B to C back to A, and you get an additional 10 XP. Like, I cut those out. So I'll just quickly cover that over, They're just explaining that the red little floaty balls cover your health, the blue ones cover your mana, which are of course corresponding to the orbs. And then yeah, so that little smaller orb that has a 0 in it, that's called pet energy. It's utilized in mini games and things like that. And so after we had just finished talking to that old woman, we were able to leave the street, go to our dorm room. And so I actually pulled out a mount so I could go faster, and then I also pulled out a pet because I like having a pet. And I'm also going to try and cut out a lot of the repetitive combat. I might not though, just because the combat is a large portion of the game. And so I'm kind of testing out with this video, seeing if I want to do that. And oh my god, I did not realize in this first area there was a lot of jumping. I fought that skeletal pirate, or I fought the first lost soul, cut out the second lost soul because you guys just watched it. Fought the first skeletal pirate, cut out the second skeletal pirate. I almost accidentally cut out this fight, but then I realized, oh hey, this is a boss fight. I'm not cutting out boss fights. So, yeah. This is since this is the beginning area, it's super duper easy. And like I said, it's just a lot of stuff is so damn repetitive. The skeletal pirates have I think between 85 and 95 health, somewhere around there. So they're basically one shots with anything. Oh, please tell me that the quality isn't this low on the thing, so you guys can actually read what stuff does. If not, I'll look into that. So just a little kind of mental note for next time. And also, this video is about twice as long as I wanted to make it, but through editing, I realized that with as much stuff as I had, I'm probably not gonna be able to do half-hour episodes. So yeah. Now that I have a little bit of time, I'll kind of preface what's going on with Wizard 101. So for anyone that hasn't played Wizard 101, you start off the game as a student in a school called Ravenwood. And when you first start playing, the school is under siege by a character known as Malistaire. Now then, over the course of the game, the main storyline is following the story arch of why Malistaire is doing what he's doing. So I'm not going to spoil that. And so, like, usually you can go through a tutorial, and I just decide to skip the tutorial because it's just tedious. And I mean, you get the XP whether or not you do the tutorial. So, oh no. But yeah. In the game, there are 7 different schools of magic, like main schools. There's like sub-disciplines, and we'll get into those way later in the game. Not unless I like find certain equipment. But the 7 main schools are fire, storm, ice, life, myth, death, and balance. Okay, I'm gonna take a pause on that really quickly. So I realized that like I really quickly just jumped through all of that text. What's going on is the fairies are being corrupted by some unknown thing, so I have to open up the bone cages and defeat fairies, so that way they can figure out what's going on. Anyways, back to like what's going on with the game. 6 of the schools have an opposite. So fire and ice are opposites, so they do bonus damage to each other, but, you know, death on death, fire on fire, storm on storm, whatever it is, if it's the same school, it has a natural resistance to it. Excuse me. And I was actually, like, trying to see here. I was, like, I got bored and I was, like, testing around with the filter, because the filter is, like, really finicky. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, fire and ice are obviously opposing each other. Life and death are opposing, and then myth and storm. And the reason that it's myth and storm is more like the science-y magic. It's more like technomancy, if you will. So yeah. And then balance is just balance. I kind of wish that they had added like an 8th school chaos, and then just, you know, ta-da, given balance an opposite, because if you ever play as a balanced character, you're gonna hate your life. But yeah, and then the 3 sub-schools that I've discovered so far while playing is the, what is it, the Moon School, which does transmogrification. It's like the Sun School and the Star School. There's the 3 astral schools. And those just either affect a card, or they give you an aura, or just, you know, something similar. Yeah, and so those are the schools of magic within the game. And the 3 astral schools are actually attainable way later. Like, you actually have to beat the entire Malistaire storyline before getting to the astral schools. Which, I mean, is fair, because they are really strong. But equally, it's really interesting to just see that some equipment actually will give you spells. And so, like, there's one equipment that actually gives a, I think it's a Star School spell. But, yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm going to try to shotgun Wizard City. As, you know, I just want to get it done as quickly as possible. I've personally run through Wizard City countless times. It's really, really boring. So there's probably going to be very heavy cutting involved, and editing and all that other stuff, just because I want to get this done. I mean, ideally, if I'd given myself better time management, I probably could have just been like, all right, cool, Wizard City, I don't want to be here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a compilation of, like, you know, very pivotal, important things, boss fights, and then just go, boop. But that didn't happen. So there's going to be like 2 episodes in Wizard City, as opposed to just the one. You know, I'm gonna try and keep the videos on just like storyline and like major events. You know, possibly, you know, how I've been doing is I've just been recording the entire time I play and then just editing it all down, but I'm gonna try to focus on storyline since storyline is kind of important. You know, I might include some funny things here and there, but yeah. And I also do need to focus on getting, you know, getting more with the dialogue. You know, letting the characters talk their whole way through and everything else. So, that is that. And I did end up trying to do this first with a life school student, which explains why I thought that I had things pre-recorded. However, I just could not get through it with life school. It didn't work for me. I actually started this game out death school, and you know the death school is the best school, and it just vibes and meshes with me. So the fact that I was trying to do a full solo run through excuse me, a full solo run through as life school, it just didn't work. Balance School is the second school I actually started doing solo run through when I first started playing this game. And so Death and Balance are like my two schools. I'm really good at both. If any of you watched my my Twitch streams on Wizard 101, I was playing Balance, and I'm gonna see if I can pick that back up, because I actually personally enjoyed it. But we will have to see what the you know, what's in store, because I mean, we got far. But yeah, I'm gonna have to say, like, this is doing a Wizard 101 run through week by week. That's definitely gonna take some time. And also depending on, you know, how much enjoyment everyone has watching this and how much excuse me. God, I'm tired and I just cannot stop yawning. I am so sorry. But anyways, again, depending on how much enjoyment everyone has off this will depend on if I do a secondary run through with a different character, because obviously I'm not going to do 2 Death School runs. I mean, honestly, if people really enjoy it, I can always go through and do 1 run per school. Certain schools I will definitely prolong doing, or like, you know, put off doing as long as possible. Just saying, like, Ice and Life would be the ones that I take the longest to actually start.
You must be the new student I've heard.
Alright, and that is what I'm talking about. So, I'm actually going to bump up the, there we go. Okay. This section I'm talking about where I said, you know, I just kind of like skipped through everything. And I really should have, I really should have done this. Also, I ended up cutting out a whole section of quest. So originally you go talk to Sergeant Muldoon, and then you have to go do some pet stuff. You have to, kill this dude. That was just a tooltip about teleporters and things. Alright, so anyways, he was just talking about, you know, oh hey, Professor Drake of the Mist School summoned trolls to help us defeat the Cyclopses, but now the trolls are bad. And, you know, he has something to do with trolls. And he wants armor. So yeah, you know, just little things like that. But I definitely should have taken the time to actually, you know, let you guys hear all the dialogue. But with that quest, you know, it was just explaining how the new mechanics are for pets. It's nothing too big, but, you know, hey. Things are things. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to turn out with me voicing over with the music. I might actually have to turn the music down next time I do this. I might have to turn my microphone more up, even though it's at 100% now. But I think the sound actually helps out a little bit, so you guys just aren't hearing my wonderful voice the whole episode. I mean, some of the characters are just enjoyable to listen to. Like the final boss of this area, you guys, I hope, enjoy, because it's so derpy and funny. I genuinely enjoy the change on that. That's one of the few changes in this game I actually enjoy. Yeah. And I don't know why, like, ever since this game came out, like, literally from the start, I've done these streets in the exact same order every single time without fail. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. I could go and change things up, but I always start Cyclops Lane, then I move to Triton Avenue, then I go to Firecat Alley. It's just one of those weird things that people do when they play a game. You know how they have their little, their things? That is mine. And I mean, you know, it's also nice that they're changing up the game, because I mean, while yes, a lot of this is the same as it was, what, 10 years ago when it came out? Oh, God, I feel old. But, nah, like, a lot of things are the same, but they're also changing things quite a bit. Like, a lot of my graphics I have set on old for right now. I may eventually change it up to new, just because, I don't know. All good things kind of have to come to an end at some point, and I just decided that I'd rather change it up to the new settings, and, you know, I don't think they're as bad. And I'm glad that that's still a setting that you can change it to the old graphics, or at least, you know, for the most part, the old graphics. But, you know, the newer graphics are just a little more cartoony. But, you know, they've definitely added quests in. They've changed quests around. They added in a character in the beginning. Was it Abby Doodle or something like that? She's just like a tour guide, but, you know, everyone went to school. You know that annoyingly, like, that toxically chipper person who, like, you know, you could beat them with a dead puppy and they'd still be happy, and you're like, what do you smoke in the morning to get that big of a smile on your face? That is the character they have walking you around. So, you know, like, I don't know, I find those kinds of characters just so insufferable, because, like, no matter what's going on, they're just super happy. Yeah, they changed up his voice, too. Anyways, oh dear God, I think I messed up. I think I unlinked the audio video on this. Guess we'll find out. Nope. And you know what? I'm gonna leave this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's too perfect not to leave in. Oh my god, that's awesome. Makes me so happy. Oh god. That puts a smile on my face. But anyways, like that, so you just have to go around to the different areas of, like, you know, the main areas in the beginning. Like, you don't go down the 3 streets or Cyclops Lane, or not Cyclops, Jesus Christ, Colossus Boulevard. The 4 streets that are like main for combat, you know, you don't go down those. But the Commons, Ravenwood, Unicorn Way, Gollum Court, Shopping District, and Old Town, all those areas, this chick leads you around on, and you're sitting there just going, oh dear God, where's the tour bus so I can walk in front of it? But no, like, okay, note for next time, unless you guys like really enjoyed just like the jacked up music and, you know, Alvin the Chipmunks talking about whatever quest we're on, note for next time, unlink that. But like, you know what, this is my pilot airing. This is, you know, me figuring out where I went wrong. Oh dear God. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that mistake in there. Yeah, and I don't care. It's Discord about pets. Yeah, like, so as I'm voicing over all this, I'm rewatching everything, and I get to hear all the audio and everything else. For, you know, those of you that haven't edited before, it's a really nice process. You know, I go through, I've cut everything out. I apparently missed a Discord message. But yeah, no, I basically just dice up all the footage, stitch it back up, and then I voice it over with this. Actually, I've gotten really acquainted with doing the voiceovers because I, for whatever reason, I'm just really bad at like stitching audio in. But yeah, I don't know. It's a process. If I could outsource this, I definitely would. Just because it is time consuming and stuff. But, you know, at the same time, I don't feel like my videos would have the same, Wisp, what are you doing? So, my cat has decided that he's going to just start jumping up into the window. Like, he's just, like, putting his paws on there and looking through like a kid waiting for Santa Claus. And yes, it's the same cat that whenever I'm recording or streaming or whatever, he's up in my lap trying to see what's going on and be involved. Ah, there's people out there. Yeah, now that I've shut the blinds better, you can't. So, like, because my the room I'm in faces the sun, I had to put up a sheet, you know, covering the window. He's been moving the sheet so he can look out. It's really funny because, you know, he's a smart little bugger like that. Oh god. It's also a weird thing to put over a door. Anyways, that. I'm really hoping that you guys actually enjoy this playthrough. I'm also hoping you enjoy the other playthroughs I have. And so, just kind of a shameless promotion here. You know, if this isn't up your alley and you've made it this far, thank you. You know, maybe you're seeing if it gets better. The game really stays the same. It is kind of this format the whole way through. You know, combat, lots of dialogue and quests. More tedious combat, lots of dialogue and quests. But For my next following videos, I will be focusing more on allowing the dialogue to go through, so you guys can enjoy the dialogue. But as I was saying, like, if this isn't up your alley, you know, maybe one of my other things will be up your lane. Like, for example, Thursdays, so the day this posts. That is, Wisp, leave the damn sheet alone. You don't need to look out the window. Anyways, Wednesdays is going to be reserved for Wizard 101, and then Thursdays will be Astroneer. For anyone that hasn't played or seen Astroneer, it's a derpy little indie space game. It's really fun. Fridays is 7 Days to Die, which is a zombie survival crafting game. And then that is kind of it for posting on my YouTube channel. It's just those 3 things on those 3 days. And then Saturday through Tuesday, I move over to my Twitch channel. And if you guys are interested in my Twitch stuff, link is in somewhere in my channel. I think it's in the bio. Anyways, so Saturdays is just whatever random stream I decide that I'm gonna post. Which, you know, I don't know, to me, it adds a little less stress. Oh, nope, not in my bio. I actually have like the links section filled out, so it has the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the Twitch for this channel. And then, you know, each respective thing will have whatever site, or the one site you're missing, not the site you're on. So, you know, the Twitch will have the 3 social medias plus the YouTube. Instagram will have Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter, and Facebook, you know, things like that, you know, because, anyways. But yeah, no, Saturday is just whatever I decide to post. So, like, let's just say that I'm grinding out some behind-the-scenes stuff on, I don't know, even Wizard 101. If I'm just, like, grinding on Wizard 101, going, you know what, I am just doing random side quests that aren't going to make it into the video, I'll stream that, you know. If I'm grinding in preparation for one of my other streams, that might be it. And so, like, you know, you'll get a double feature for the week. Then Sundays is Subnautica. Mondays I'm streaming Vault Hunters. For anyone that hasn't played the Vault Hunters mod pack for Minecraft, it's an amazing mod pack, really well done. And again, I do want to apologize for anyone that watched my last Vault Hunters stream. I did have to cut it short because of the fact that my computer, for whatever reason, was crashing Minecraft. Again, I apologize very heavily for that. Provided I don't have anything else that pops up as really fun for Saturday, I'll probably end up streaming Vault Hunters as kind of just like, you know, I'm sorry for things breaking. And then Tuesdays is me just screwing around on World of Tanks. And while World of Tanks isn't normally up my alley, I do end up having a group of friends that I play with, and I need to grind on it. And I just figured, you know what? World of Tanks is one of those games where it's nice to just get on and laugh and have a great time with it, because I am bad at it. For anyone that caught what would be yesterday's stream, like, I did horrible, but at the same time, I had a great time while doing it. So it all just comes down to how much fun you have. And, you know, if people end up saying, like, hey, World of Tanks just really isn't something that's enjoyable on your channel, I may change it up to some other game that, you know, doesn't really require any planning or anything else. You know, it might just be me playing something like StarCraft or something that doesn't require time over the week for me to, you know, work on it. Because, you know, having 3 YouTube series and then 2 Twitch series running all simultaneously, that does require a little bit of effort. You know, like, realistically here, like, I only need to take like 3 hours out of my day to record Wizard 101, so that's 3 hours total, so that doesn't really matter. You know, 7 Days to Die. Oh no, I take another couple hours to do that, and then you know, same with Astroneer, like, and then I just take some time to or not AFK, but you know, just to like do a little bit of resource gathering during the week for Subnautica and Vault Hunters, and it's all good. But I don't know, just having a game that I don't need to take extra time on is really nice, as well as the Saturday stream, which is in its nature just meant to be more relaxed and laid back.
At last. I'll get everyone to safety. Find us back by Nolan and we can discuss next steps.
And I know earlier I'd been talking about like new quests. This is a new quest, and plus that chick will end up giving us a brand new quest where we have to, like, you know, collect the different items that's meant to like release this Destroyer of Worlds, which again, brand new quest. I had never seen it before, and it was it in fact was a quest. You guys will end up seeing what I mean by that later. And you know, honestly, I'm genuinely curious, right? Like, because when it comes to games like 7 Days to Die, there's only so much you can do in it before it gets, you know, repetitive and boring. Wizard 101 has an end goal. Astroneer has an end goal. So on games like that actually have an end goal, it's gonna be like Astroneer. Once I beat that, I have no idea what I'm doing on Thursdays. I'll just have to find another game to do. Like, which again, I don't have a problem with it, but I don't know. I just don't have a lot of games that I can sit here and record. Like, oh, hey, look at that, another Discord thingy. I could do like 7 Days to Die or something like that, which, again, would not be the worst thing in the world. I would just have to re-download on my computer. I don't know, like, this also gives plenty of time for the community to let me know, like, hey, what are you guys interested in? Because, you know, all these series eventually will have to come to an end. So I want to know, like, what you guys are interested in watching. You know, like, naturally, like my Subnautica thing, there's a second Subnautica. So, you know, I'll play the first one, then I'll play Below Zero, and then I'll be kind of out of Sunday stuff. I think by the time I end up beating Vault Hunters, the next iteration of it will come out. So I'll end up, you know, that'll be Mondays done. Tuesdays, I really don't know if like how long I'm going to keep up tanks on Tuesday. You know, I might just, like, once I get up to everything I want on tanks, we'll figure something out there. You know, maybe just do like 1v1s and 2v2s and other things like that on StarCraft or some other tactical game. You know, like I said with Wizard 101, you know, once we beat this playthrough, which is going to take us a while. Because actually, hold on, while we're doing this, I'm actually curious. Because, videos, live. Yeah, so I streamed for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, like about an hour and a half per video. Oh god, I love that fight. Like, the Great One is such a derpy villain. But anyways, as I was saying, like, for the most part, things are, you know, like, between an hour and a half, or around about an hour and a half, right? And that is in fact a thing. You know, come from like 3 hours, which is also just insane. But point being, even at just an hour and a half an episode, I had 39 episodes of Wizard 101 on stream. So let's see, 39. So that's what, 1.5 is about 90 minutes times 39 divided by 60. So if every single episode was just an hour and a half on the dot, that is 58.5 hours of yes, that's actually not bad. That's about 57 hours of total gameplay straight to beat Malastare. 57 hours. Just over 2 days. 3 hours under 2.5 days. And that's with 2 people. And so since I'm going to be doing this solo, we'll have to allot for, you know, more time. You know, just a smidgen more time. So probably around about 60 hours total of gameplay to beating Malastare. And I really don't feel like timing it or anything else. Just because, you know, I'll end up AFKing and I'll do other garbage. Because like, I already AFK'd for like 2 hours. No, not 2 hours. God, no, not 2 hours. Like 45 minutes to an hour, I think, on this character already. And it's just not worth it to me to try to figure out like how long it took me to beat Malastare. But I will say that it's definitely doable quickly. And I mean, let's see here. This is about 3 hours of content already. So if we're timing this out right, 57 hours of to get to and beat Malastare. Yeah, so let's just round that up to like 60 for us because we're gonna end up doing this solo for the most part, of course. So that's about. And if I condense every single video into an hour from 3 hours, I just cut it into third, because that's about what I've done here. We have about 20 episodes, which is 20 weeks. Which, that's 5 months just to get to and beat Malastare. Which, I mean, provided that is a great milestone, but there's plenty of worlds after that, so at least for this one, we've got 5 months worth of content planned out. And also, I really want to know what everyone thinks of the new schedule I've got. Just because it's, I don't know. For me, it's less stressful. Having that nice, thought out, planned out, hey, we're going to do this on this day. It, Excuse me. I don't know. It fills me with hope and joy. Yep. Those books I'm not gonna sit there and listen to. I've never listened to them. Because they're honestly not important. They're just a random side quest. That's all they are. A useless side quest. But XP is XP. And I'm one of those people where, you know, I will happily grab every side quest, whether or not I do them. That is the trick. But, you know, I will grab every side quest. Yeah, that's actually, like, giving me something to think about. Like, what are we gonna do, like, once all of our things have, you know, once most of, or all of our, series... My whiz. You know, I forgot how cringy this game could be. Like, this game definitely has its moments where you just sit there and go, oh dear God, this is painful. Please tell me no one actually talks this way. And then you realize, yes, someone does. That's why the character was scripted that way. God, that's... And I'm gonna laugh if someone, you know, just goes, oh my God, I'm offended. This is, you know, that's how I talk. Like, well, don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know, he, to me, he almost sounds like one of those stereotypical surfer dudes. Yeah, it could just be me. But yeah, and for everyone wondering, you know, why am I running around collecting little dudes in overalls and red shirts? That is another wonderful side quest. That one gives training points. So, I actually didn't cover this. Anyways, so how learning spells works in this game is pretty simple. So your main school, all your spells are free so long as you meet the level requirement for it. And you can find trainers throughout the spiral, which is the universe. Everything's held together in a spiral. So the different worlds and everything else. And so not just your main school trainer, but you'll find other trainers as well. So it just really depends on who or what school you are. Will depend on where you can find them and who trains you. Like, I know, for example, if you're a myth school student, in the next world, in the secret shop, there are spells. Actually, in Colossus Boulevard, there's a secret trainer. So it just really depends. And also they've added in a thing of hiding shopkeepers. And so these shopkeepers, and you know, some of them may be hidden, some of them may not be. But they will sell you recipes to clothes. And so I know over in Krokotopia, which is the next world that we're going to be doing, which I actually kind of enjoy. It's Egyptian style. But anyways, it will allow you to have better stats with your main school as well as your secondary school. And how secondary schools work is whether you you either will get them through leveling up naturally, or through doing quests. So like collecting the smiths, the little dudes with red shirts and overalls. That quest is given to you by a crazy guy named Prospector Zeke. He is in every single world, without fail. Take the quest from him, and it will have like a little, it'll show the spell book with a plus sign on it. That means that he's going to give you a training point for completing that quest. Now then, his quests are super easy, super nice. Literally, it's just in 99% of the areas, there will be something relating to the world that you just have to find. You don't have to, just walk over to it, walk past it, it'll trigger, it'll go, haha, you've collected it, and move on with life. So, like, in Wizard City, it's the Smiths. In Crocotopia, you have to find scarabs. The next world after that is Marleybone, which is a world filled with humanoid dogs. You have to find stray cats. The world after that is Mushu. It's Asian style. So you have to find oysters. After that is Dragonspire. So you have to find stone flowers. After then there's also Grizzleheim. So you have to find yardbirds, which are like little wooden birds. You also have to go to a different school called Pigswick, so you find wallflowers. And then there's also, Celestia? Which is like a futuristic underwater place. So you have to find lounge lizards, which is lizards with a mustache and a smoking jacket. But point remains. Whenever you do finish one of his quests, which is, finding things, then he will give you a training point. Which will allow you to pick up a tertiary school, or a third school. Which, honestly, OP. Or, if you save them, which I'm planning on doing, you can have your third school be an astral school. Or all the astral schools. Because astral schools are actually really strong. Yeah, the astral schools are really, really nice. Like the moon school, where you can transmogrify into other things, is just insane. But yeah, this game is also multiplayer friendly. It's heavily implied that you should play this in multiplayer. So, that's what these circles are for. You can have up to 4 people with you. Or, sorry, up to 3 people with you, so for a total of 4 people. And, honestly, this game is better with friends. Sadly, I don't have a lot of people to play this with, because scheduling conflicts and other things, because, adult life. But yeah, getting a full party to run through it's equal parts fun and the biggest pain in the ass you will ever do. For the simple fact that, when you're outside on the street, if 3 of your squad gets in and then 1 random jumps in, just because randoms do that, because randoms are assholes, you now have to try and sit there and struggle and everything else. Then, when everyone jumps on, you gotta coordinate, hey, what realm are we in? Because, this game has different servers, so you have to, everyone has to get on the same server, and then you gotta, it takes some coordination. But, the coordination's really not bad. But I mean, honestly, if I could play this through with 3 other people, so we have our full squad. Anyways, as I was saying, like, in my personal opinion, and, you know, this is up for speculation, of course, because, you know, everyone has their different dream team. I would prefer, you know, I'd play Death. I'd prefer to have a life student, a balance student, and either a fire or storm student. And that be the dream team. And, you know, I can explain why. Because, Death is kind of all around. They can heal themselves, they can heal others later on, and they just do damage, right? Life School obviously is their healer, and so that's, you know, that's a good one to have. The balance student is akin to Death in the fact that they're just all around. They can heal, they can buff, they can debuff, they can do damage. You know, they are the support player embodied in beautiful tan. You know. And then the storm or the fire character, that is your DPS person. Like, they are going to be frontlining damage like crazy. You know, there's a reason I seconded in fire. And the reason I seconded in fire is because I wanted something powerful. You know, honestly, I almost feel like seconding in balance in hindsight. And the reason for that is honestly just the fact that I really like Balance School. It has the same percentage to go through as mine, because Fire and Storm have the lowest percentages, while Life has the highest. Everything else is just sprinkled in. Which, I mean, is fair, because, you know, Fire and Storm do the most damage per spell. But at the same time, like, balance is just broken. Especially doing solo. You know, even with one other person, balance is good. You know, balance also has those spells where it's like, oh, hey, I'm going to give everyone in the party a buff. I'm going to give everyone on the opposing team a debuff. There's actually a balance spell that puts 3 traps, which are the things that increase incoming damage. You know, and those 3 traps are either Fire, Ice, Storm, or Death, Life, Myth. You know, they put those 3 on there. So if you've got plenty of people, it's absolutely insane. I mean, actually, technically speaking, like, if you really wanted to get fun with it, you could have a Myth person in place of your Fire or Storm, for that reason of, you know, you're now getting, you'd have a spare trap anyways. I mean, or you could also just, you know, have them be a Storm person seconding in Myth. Which then have your balance person second in Fire, and then have your life person second in Ice. You literally just have just insane amounts of damage output, because you'd put like no matter what trap set you put, or the balanced character puts on the enemy, you're always going to have someone in the party will have damage output of that type, which honestly would be really, really funny. And then the death student can just second in whatever, probably balance just to help keep the pressure on, because death is another, I mean, I guess technically speaking, the death would second fire the let's see, the storm person seconding myth, the balance person would secondary ice, and then the life person would secondary balance. So your two heavy support characters are doing heavy support things, while your two damage players are doing damage things. Yeah, no, that would actually just be ludicrous, but so much fun. Because, I mean, it's not hard to make a good, balanced, and enjoyable support build with the balanced school. On the flip side of that, you can also make a very disgusting and still fun to play aggro build with balance. So, you know, if you wanted to dump all of your support onto your life character for 5 seconds, you could very, very easily say, screw this noise, and just start wreaking havoc with 3 damage characters and 1 support. And also, death by default allows for sustainability in combat and some support. So, life wouldn't be completely alone in that. Because like I said prior, you know, death kind of does, you know, death is another jack of all trades. It's a little more dangerous, but yeah. You know, like, Death School eventually picks up a spell that allows you to deal damage to yourself, to heal someone, to include yourself, deal damage in order to do more damage on the next attack, just whatever weird little thing. But Lionine and I ended up doing a run through where I was death and she was life, and I actually legitimately lost track of how many times I, as the death student, healed her as the life student, just because, you know, of how the Death School builds, or how I build my Death School character. Because you end up getting a lot of spells like this, where it is life leech. So, you know, half of whatever damage you deal comes back as health. And so if you're consistently dealing ludicrous amounts of damage, you're healing that amount. So you don't really have to focus or worry on your survivability. At that point in time, your whole goal is to try and annoy your opponents into targeting you, so your support characters can support your, you know, can help out your allies a little better. And there's actually spells that will allow you to taunt so you can be targeted, which, honestly, if you're in a position like the Death School where you can frontline like that and just take damage, absolutely do it. Especially if you have a really good support character. I also remember the days when like the Kraken boss fight was jam-packed 24/7. Like, this used to be almost impossible to get done. Yeah, people were like, people would farm the Kraken, and oh god, that was just amazing. When the game first came out, the amount of people in the community that played was just insane. They also reversed the roles. Susie used to be the one that you'd talk to, and Arthur was the one that was captured by the Harvest Lord. Wonder why they changed it up. But yeah, I forgot where it is in the video that I ended up changing it over to the newer graphics. But I'd have to say, I kind of like the newer graphics just because they've added so much stuff. The new graphics just make it. And I really can't wait to get into the next areas. Just because this Wizard City is just easy. It's the starting area. It's meant to be easy, and it does its job really well. It just, I don't know. Once you play through Wizard City once, you're just kind of there where you're like, yep, moving on. Yeah. No, but next episode we'll definitely be covering things in Firecat. Like, Firecat Alley, technically storyline-wise, is the only thing left to do. Excuse me. I might also just do Colossus Boulevard as well. Just to finish out Wizard City entirely. So I don't have to come back later. But then again, I also might get about halfway through Crocotopia, then go back and do Colossus Boulevard just to kind of shotgun my way through. Also, for those of you that are new to Wizard 101, just a really nice anyways, words. A really great word of advice, which kind of sounds like a no-brainer, but hey, the bazaar is going to be your best friend. Pop in there every once in a while, check out what's in the bazaar, and buy what will be helpful. Now, the prices in the bazaar will fluctuate and change, as will the inventory, because this is a game-wide store, which is run, or which is entirely based off of what people do and don't sell. So, that being said, sometimes the stuff you're looking for isn't in there. However, you might find something you weren't really looking for. And every once in a while, you find some really weird and unique items for crafting, buy those. Absolutely 110% buy those. Why? Because they are important. They have crafting quests, they have... Anyways, you know, like for example, was it black pearls, I think, are stupidly rare. Blood moss is another annoying one to get. You know, just if you can, if there's a reagent that you're finding is really hard to get, check the bazaar. Also check the assistants.
I overheard the Harvest Lord's plans. He was raising it up the temp.
All right. Anyways, yeah. If there's any reagents that you're having hard time finding, you know, check the bazaar, or, you know, well, and also check the assistants to the crafters, because they usually sell some really good stuff too. I haven't noticed anyone that sells.
Use the return to comments button to get back to the comments, and then get to reading.
Okay, cool. No more talking on the AI part. Anyways, I haven't found anyone that sells blood moss. I could just not have found them, but you know, even black lotuses are kind of difficult sometimes to find, just really depending. And just for anyone that's like, oh hey, well, you know, how do I find them since it takes forever for them to respawn? Travel in between the realms. You know, that's another great way of trying to find stuff is, let's just say you're in the realm Ambrose, and there's no reagents in your area. Just pop on to the next one down, the next available one, and they might be there, they might not, but you know, it's a way to look. So like in Nightside, when we eventually get there, Mandrake root shows up there, and you also get blood moss from Mandrake root. Yeah, so if anyone's like trying to farm blood moss, just go to Nightside and just go through all the realms. It'll definitely, definitely help you. And that's actually how I got the blood moss for a lot of different crafting recipes and a lot of different quests, is just through doing stupid stuff like that. I mean, however, I think I'm going to call it here. I'm just going to use my pet to go around and collect the other buried things. It's really not too exciting. Oh yeah, and this is what the new textures look like. Alright, go ahead and let me know in the comments if you want me to keep it on classic mode, or if you want me to go back to, or keep it here. You know, because I'm good for keeping it classic or keeping it here with the newer textures. But like I said, I'm actually going to end the video here, just because I don't really have any need or any want to like make this longer than it needs to be, and also it's just gonna be me running around with my pet. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, follow, all that fun stuff. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.